Taking a look at BlackBerry stock, this video is going to be a continuation of yesterday's video where I was explaining this upward trend support line right here. Came down, bounced off it in December of 2020, January of 2021, went up to the upside, came back down, bounced off it again twice with 2 clean touch points in May of 2021 and went up to the upside. So just to visually show again, and then is coming down hypothetically. The only thing is though, the momentum and everything, I'm gonna explain why potentially there's a chance it might not come down, but at the same time, it almost looks like no matter what, at the end of the day, if you are patient, it might come down and then bounce up to the upside. The anticipation is to bounce up to the upside. I'm a long-term investor for BlackBerry stock, highly optimistic. And then quick disclaimer before I continue as well, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion, it is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. Now we were stuck underneath a downward trend resistance line, obviously after the fact of the multiple spikes that we had above it, but it was prevalent after the fact where when it went up, it got knocked down, went up, it got knocked down multiple times, it just kept on getting knocked down. Yes, a false breakout, but even after the fact, it still got knocked down multiple times. Past it, hypothetically bounced off it as support, and now battling the moving averages for the time being. The price points that are going to cause an issue for the time being is around the $10.50 mark, and then after that, after the fact, if you can see horizontally right here, it doesn't show that clear with the 3-month chart right now at the moment, but maybe it will be prevalent if I just draw the line, or evident in a way, where it's around the 1080 to 1090 to $11 price point. Pretty much when it went up, it got knocked down, went up, got knocked down, almost went up, got knocked down, not necessarily touching it, but close, and then bounced off its support multiple times. So looking to hypothetically pass 1050 range, then 1080 to 1090 to $11 price point, give or take. If it does, so the question is, should you wait or should you enter now? That's basically what I'm trying to answer. It's debatable, because what happens is, are we going to have a spike up to the upside, and are we just basically never going to touch this downward trend or upward trend support line and then bounce up to the upside? Is it over and then we're just going to the upside disregarding this upward trend support line? It's debatable, because if it wasn't for the patent sale that's going to come out in end of September, in my opinion, based off what I've seen. By the way, I apologize. One of the viewers asked for proof of it. I will show proof of it. I stated in the past where the proof is, but they checked. They said they can't find it, but they did a quick check. So I'll double check, post a video just to show obviously the full factual stuff. But what could happen potentially is we could see what we've seen in the past, where this is the January all-time high, or not January all-time high, but a recent high of almost hitting $30 share price back in January 2021. It was coming down, and then it went from roughly about $8.99. Obviously, that's not the exact price point, just because this is a compressed graph, 3-month chart. It's not the exact price. Went up to $12.45. So you'd think that you've missed your chance to get in at a lower price point, but then it came back down to a lower low and hit $8.44. Then came down to $8.11, and then finally ultimately hit hypothetically around the price point range of $7.83. I think it went a little bit lower during that time from my recollection. I think it hit $7.77, but can't remember exactly. And it hit the upward trend support line. So the same thing could hypothetically happen, where it could go up to, like, let's just say, for the most part, I think most likely it would hit like $12 and like 30 cents, $12.20, or $12.19, whatever. And then it might come back down, ultimately doing the same thing where it'll have spikes and then hit the upward trend support line and go to the upside. If that were the case, I think it would most likely be by time September hits, mid-September or early September, then we would probably hit this upward trend support line at one point. You can see right here, and then goes up to the upside. If that is the case, you'll be able to enter around the $9.70, $9.80, $9.90, low $10 price point. But the problem is, this is the issue. If the patent sale is in anticipation to come out at the end of September, I don't know how the momentum will be slowed down to bring it back down. That's the issue. If it wasn't for the patent sale, I would easily be able to say you could wait. We're gonna hit this upward trend support line at one point. Again, not a guarantee even at that point, but it would be a lot easier to say you could wait. The problem is, I just don't know how I could see the momentum slowing down. But the thing is though, if you look at the 5-year chart, the MAC line, so this indicates if it's a bearish or bullish momentum. In terms of the 5-year movement, right now it is still negative. It is still a bearish movement, so it's not optimistic, it's negative. The only thing is though, over time, even though if it's in the negative, before it crosses over to a positive, it could start going up. So right about here, it starts going up. But keep in mind, when you see these bars, when they become a lighter shade of red, that is a good sign. The only thing is though, it's more prevalent sign of it's being optimistic when they become smaller bars. So yesterday we had almost one of the bars turning a light shade of red. It did turn light shade of red, but then turned back to solid red. It could, so what I'm trying to show is it could turn to a light shade of red, but then back to a dark shade of red. So the reason why that's important is right about here, you could see, let's just say for the sake of argument, it was at $8.72, went up to $8.90 or something, almost $8.90, $8.86. This is just a compressed time frame because it's a 5-year chart, so the prices are not exact. But I'm assuming it probably went up to $9, to be honest. It looks like you might have missed it, all stuff, but then it still went down to $8.46. So even though it went from solid red to light shaded red, so it went up, it looks like you might have missed it, but then went back down to red, so the price point, or it went back down, coming down to bounce off the upward trend support line, and then it went back up after the fact. So even if it's going up, it doesn't necessarily mean that you might have missed your chance, hypothetically. But again, the problem is the patent sale. That's the issue. But now if we go to the 1 year chart, the 1 year chart shows a different situation where it did cross over to a positive, and it was coming from a point where it was oversold hypothetically. So this is the RSI chart. This indicates if it's overly bought or overly sold. Right now, it's not an extreme sold situation. Extreme is, I would say, underneath the whole entire chart part right here, if you could see in this situation. But it is in oversold territory, and it's coming up from the upside. But if you go to a 5-year chart, I believe it's vice versa. Yeah, it was coming from overbought, and it was hypothetically dropping. Doesn't need to drop all the way to start going up, but it's almost like you could still, like I stated before, you could still go to the upside and then still come back down, and we can have that same situation and come back down. Again, the problem is it's the patent sale. I just don't know how to incorporate that. If the momentum's too strong, I don't know how to, like how would you slow down that momentum for a stock to come back down? Doesn't make sense to me. For the time being, we just have to assess it as the time goes by. Now the question is, again, what price point can you enter at hypothetically? So like I stated, it's going to have issues passing those price points, $10.50, $10.90, $11. Like I stated in yesterday's video, it could be between that channel between $9.80, $9.70, $9.90, or essentially $9.80 to the low $10 price point. So you could see right about here, and that channel could continue. It doesn't have to like break through this channel, so it could look like it's promising hypothetically. I'm just drawing amateur lines. I apologize for the quickness, but it could go up to like $10.80, $10.90, $11, and then come back down. So it looks like you'd be missing it, and then coming back down to $9.80 again, like I stated, low 10s, and going back and forth. Now it doesn't need to do that all the way till end of September. We could have massive spikes, like I've stated, and then come back. So like massive spikes to $12 and like 20 cents or whatever it might be, and then come back down and then have spikes again. So it's not going to be a smooth curve to the upside or smooth curve to the downside. But I feel like I'm missing something. I apologize. This video has to be quick, unfortunately crunched on time, but hopefully I answered everything. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. If you like this video, consider dropping a like. It does help the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you like videos like this or other financial videos, other stock videos, consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I do upload those videos. And that's basically it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.